What happened to Justin? I don't know. He's developed a drug problem, he has herpes, or he has staph. Shit looks weird as fuck, and he's got like sores on his lip.
Did you screenshot me eating brisket from my YouTube video to make it look like I have herpes on my lip? My neck is a healing ingrown hair. Justin Gaethje's explosive social media post ignited a firestorm, his words dismissing horrifying images of a visibly swollen neck. The MMA world gasped. Memories of Benoit Saint-Denis' similar denial still fresh, the specter of a career-altering infection looming large. This wasn't just a rumor, it was a potential catastrophe for UFC 34, an event already burdened with immense pressure. The stakes had never been higher, and one man's defiance threatened to derail it all.
What's going on, guys? What is going on? What is going on? We're still 3 weeks away from the next card. As insane as that is. But only 2 weeks away from the next fight week, which is supposed to be UFC 324, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett.
Gaethje's sarcastic denial on X, formerly Twitter, was classic highlight aggression. He confronted the swirling speculation head-on, claiming the suspicious red mark on his neck was nothing more than a minor healing ingrown hair. He even mocked fans for analyzing a screenshot of him eating brisket, implying they were fabricating health problems. But many observers, still reeling from past controversies, found his explanation deeply unconvincing. The visual evidence, to them, simply didn't align with such a benign diagnosis. The community was split, but doubt lingered.
Looks like Gaethje may have staph. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I don't have the picture right in front of me right now, but the picture looks pretty gruesome. But it could be something where there's like
What started as a single screenshot from Gaethje's training footage quickly became an inferno. Fans meticulously following his camp spotted a visible, red, swollen bump on his neck, immediately sparking panicked speculation. The image spread across social media like wildfire, thousands zooming in with the fervor of forensic investigators. One popular post alone racked up over 700,000 views, with the MMA community frantically debating whether UFC 34's main event was about to collapse just 19 days before fight night. The concern was palpable, the rumors unstoppable.
Just saw the pic of Justin, and dude is growing a second head. Yeah, looks like some of the poisonous mushrooms from The Last of Us, does it not?
For those unfamiliar, staph infections are the silent assassins of combat sports. Caused by Staphylococcus bacteria, these invasions thrive in MMA gyms. Constant skin-to-skin contact, shared bacteria harboring mats, open cuts, and sometimes questionable hygiene create a perfect storm. When these infections take hold, they manifest as red, swollen boils or painful abscesses, powerful enough to sideline even the toughest fighters. It's a bacterial nightmare that can ravage a system, leading to catastrophic performance issues and dangerous health risks for anyone caught in its grip. The chilling precedent of Benoit Saint-Denis cast a long shadow over Gaethje's situation. Before his highly anticipated bout against Dustin Poirier, Saint-Denis initially denied any staph infection, only to admit after the fight that it had indeed been the culprit. The result was devastating. He delivered an impressive first round, then found himself utterly depleted, his body unable to sustain output due to the infection. The MMA community, having been burned before by compromised fighters, was understandably skeptical of any reassurances. Now, history seemed to be repeating itself in real time. UFC 324 was far more than just another fight card. It marked the promotion's historic debut on Paramount Plus under a groundbreaking new broadcast deal. This seismic shift in how fans would consume content made the stability of the main event critically important. The UFC had invested heavily, and any disruption threatened to undermine their entire strategic rationale. This wasn't just about a championship belt, it was about the future of the UFC's business model and delivering the spectacle subscribers expected on their biggest streaming platform launch. The pressure was immense. The main event promised an explosive clash. 37-year-old Justin Gaethje, a former interim lightweight and BMF champion, known for his legendary violent style, was set to face 30-year-old Paddy Pimblett, an undefeated UFC rising star with a massive following and significant knockout power, represented the new guard. The winner would claim the interim lightweight championship, as undisputed champion Ilia Topuria remained sidelined for personal reasons. This was a generational battle, with both fighters hungry for gold and legacy on a pivotal stage. Gaethje entered the contest with a professional record of 26-5, his career defined by all-action violence and 20 career knockouts. His recent unanimous decision over Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313 in March 2025 demonstrated that even approaching 40, he remained one of the most dangerous strikers in the division. His legendary leg kicks had crippled multiple elite opponents, producing some of the most memorable moments in UFC history. Gaethje was a proven warhorse, but his physically demanding style also accumulated significant wear and tear, raising concerns about his longevity. Paddy Pimblett, meanwhile, boasted an impressive 23-3 professional record with a perfect 7-0 slate inside the UFC octagon. His breakthrough moment came with a dominant third-round TKO victory over Michael Chandler, silencing critics who questioned his elite-level capabilities. His style combined high-volume striking, landing 5.9 significant strikes per minute, with slick Brazilian jiu-jitsu, producing 10 career submission victories. Pimblett was a promotional darling, a marketable star destined for bigger things, but first he needed to prove himself against a true legend. The betting markets had already positioned Pimblett as the clear favorite, with odds ranging from -210 to -230, implying a 67-70% probability of victory. Gaethje sat as the underdog at +175 to +190. However, many sharp bettors and analysts saw significant value in the veteran. Gaethje's proven power against top competition and his impressive 3-0 record as an underdog of +150 or greater since 2023 suggested he was more than capable of defying the odds. The stage was set for a classic upset or a star's coronation. Beyond the pivotal main event, UFC 34 was stacked with compelling matchups, showcasing the promotion's deep roster. A women's bantamweight title fight between champion Kayla Harrison and returning legend Amanda Nunes was a blockbuster in itself. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yidong, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis, and Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze also featured prominently on the card. This star power highlighted the massive investment in the event, meaning any main event disruption would be a devastating blow, impacting the entire card's draw and narrative. Beyond competitive implications, serious health concerns existed regarding fighters battling bacterial infections in the octagon. Such infections could potentially spread through blood-to-blood contact during violent exchanges, posing risks to both athletes. Athletic commissions are specifically empowered to prevent these scenarios, but their effectiveness relies heavily on honest disclosure from the fighters themselves. The culture of toughness in combat sports often incentivizes athletes to conceal injuries or illnesses, creating a dangerous information vacuum for regulatory bodies. Immediately, one name surged to the forefront as a potential replacement: Arman Tsarukyan. The #1 ranked lightweight contender had been controversially bypassed for this interim title opportunity, with the UFC opting for the more marketable Gaethje-Pimblett matchup instead. This decision had drawn significant backlash, as Tsarukyan was widely seen as the clear choice based on merit and recent performance. He had publicly stated his willingness to step in, maintaining training intensity as the unofficial backup, a testament to his relentless dedication. The 29-year-old Armenian fighter, with an impressive 23-3 professional record and 10 wins in the UFC, was a legitimate threat. His recent victory, a dominant arm triangle choke submission of Dan Hooker in November 2025, only solidified his claim as the most deserving title challenger. Tsarukyan's fighting style combined elite-level wrestling with rapidly improving striking, creating a complete martial arts package. He was openly dismissive of both Gaethje and Pimblett, publicly calling them punching bags and declaring neither was on his level, reflecting genuine confidence. Pimblett himself had previously expressed a clear preference for fighting Gaethje over Tsarukyan. He bluntly stated that no one cares about him, in reference to the Armenian challenger, a comment that now felt eerily prescient. From a stylistic perspective, this preference was understandable. Gaethje's stand-up style would allow Pimblett to showcase his own striking, while Tsarukyan's suffocating wrestling presented a far more problematic, less marketable puzzle to solve for the Liverpudlian star. The UFC also had its own agenda in protecting its rising star. The UFC's reluctance to insert Tsarukyan into the main event was widely attributed to concerns about protecting their investment in Pimblett. The promotion had been carefully grooming the Liverpool native for a potential super fight against Ilia Topuria, a matchup projected to generate enormous pay-per-view buys. Allowing Tsarukyan to derail those plans with a dominant grappling performance would represent a significant setback for the carefully constructed promotional narrative. Business decisions often supersede pure sporting merit in such high-stakes scenarios. Hypothetical matchups painted a stark picture of the UFC's dilemma. A Tsarukyan vs. Gaethje fight would see the Armenian heavily favored, his wrestling expected to neutralize Gaethje's striking and grind out a decision. A Tsarukyan vs. Pimblett matchup would be even more lopsided, with Tsarukyan projected to dominate on the ground, overwhelming Pimblett's jiu-jitsu with superior wrestling. The original Gaethje vs. Pimblett, while competitive, represented the most unpredictable option and the one most likely to produce an exciting, marketable firefight for the fans. As speculation intensified, alternative replacement options also circulated through MMA media. Some suggested Max Holloway, the legendary featherweight who had previously knocked out Gaethje in spectacular fashion at UFC 300, could step up. Others mentioned Charles Oliveira, the former lightweight champion who remained one of the sport's most dangerous submission threats. Even a potential Pimblett-Chandler rematch was discussed, given Chandler had already lost to Pimblett once and might accept a short-notice opportunity for redemption. The scrambling was intense and urgent. The UFC's typical communication strategy in such situations involves minimal public acknowledgement until circumstances force their hand. Dana White and company prefer to control narratives rather than respond to speculation, an understandable business approach. This, however, left fans and media members to fill information vacuums with increasingly elaborate theories. The contrast between official silence and the explosion of social media commentary created a surreal atmosphere, fueling skepticism even further about Gaethje's denial. The public craved answers the promotion wasn't giving. The ramifications extended far beyond this single fight, touching fundamental questions about fighter health transparency, promotional matchmaking priorities, and the future direction of the lightweight division. Champion Ilia Topuria's absence had already created uncertainty. The interim championship was meant to maintain momentum, but the controversy over challengers and now Gaethje's health had added layers of chaos. The division stood at a crossroads, where sporting merit constantly clashed with commercial realities, creating an incredibly volatile landscape for years to come. Stylistically, the original matchup offered clear paths to victory. For Gaethje, success depended on chopping Pimblett's legs early, forcing close-range exchanges where his power would overwhelm, and stuffing takedowns while countering. His legendary leg kicks were key. For Pimblett, the path involved using his reach and volume to outpace the older fighter, mixing takedowns to drain energy, and capitalizing on scrambles for submissions in later rounds. His youth cardio and grappling threats would be decisive if the fight extended into the championship rounds, testing Gaethje's endurance. The success of UFC 324 and its Paramount Plus debut represented a turning point for the promotion's business model. A weakened main event, whether due to fighter withdrawal or a compromised performance from a hidden illness, could undermine the entire strategic rationale behind this broadcasting partnership. Paramount Plus had invested heavily, making this inaugural major event a crucial test of combat sports' ability to drive subscription growth. The financial implications for the entire promotional ecosystem were immense, adding pressure to an already chaotic situation. As January 24th looms, every training post from Gaethje's camp is scrutinized with forensic intensity. The shadow of Benoit Saint-Denis looms large over his denials, a stark reminder of past deception. Arman Tsarukyan remains the elephant in every room, the merit-based ideal sacrificed at the altar of marketability, yet poised to capitalize on any opportunity. The lightweight division, the most unpredictable in MMA, perfectly exemplifies why this reputation persists. One truth remains absolute. Someone will be crowned interim champion, and the violence to claim that belt will be spectacular, regardless of who survives Fight Week healthy enough to compete. And in this sport, that question is never answered until the cage door closes.